Hey everyone, it's Sunday, so it's time for another story time. This week I have one of my favorite multi-legged friends to show you. Now this one's really tiny because I don't have any adults. Right now we have a bunch of babies and juveniles, but what I have for you, it's gonna be hard to see, but I have a millipede. This one is affectionately known as the bumblebee millipede. Now, as you can kind of see, there is yellow and black stripes going down his body. Now, he's a little scared right now, so he's curled up into a ball, but as he gets a little bit more adventurous, he'll eventually uncurl and then start to walk around. Now, sometimes people get afraid of millipedes, especially since there's so many legs on them, but millipedes are what are known as a detritivore. Sometimes they're also called an herbivore. But basically, they eat leaf litter, they eat pieces of dirt, they eat rotting vegetables, rotting fruits, just things like that. So they're very, very important to a forest ecosystem because since they eat all that stuff that's dead or decaying or even the leaf litter that's alive, they break it down, it passes through their body, and then they poop it out, and that's actually a bunch of nutrient for more plants to grow. So it's kind of like fertilizer in a way. So these guys are very, very good at doing that, and also because they like to burrow down into holes, they create aeration holes. So basically they help add some air down into the soil. That also allows water to go in a little bit better. It also allows other animals to go down in there. So I don't know if he's going to pop up and out for us at all, so I'm gonna put him back in his little container. And then maybe once he starts crawling around, I can bring him back out. But I've always loved millipedes. I find them very, very unique. And sometimes people get millipedes and centipedes mixed up. So if you're ever looking at them, there's an easy way to tell the difference. You'll see these body segments. So you say this is your millipede, you'll have all these lines going down the body. It's the same on a centipede. But on a millipede, there's gonna be 2 legs right here and 2 legs right here on one segment, 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. Milli means 1,000 at its root word, and centi means 100. They don't really have 1,000 legs, and centipedes don't really have 100 legs. But then when you look at the millipede, there's just 1 leg over here, 1 leg over here on a body segment. 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1. So centipedes have 1 leg per side on each body segment, and millipedes have 2 per body segment on each side. So that's mainly how we tell the difference on these guys. Centipedes can bite, millipedes can't bite. Centipedes actually stalk and hunt other small insects. So sometimes we'll see what's called house centipedes roaming around maybe in our basement or something. They actually go around and collect all the nasty little bugs that might be crawling around that you don't see. Whereas the millipedes, if they're in your house, it's just because it was nice and cool and it was a place for them to kind of roam around and maybe try and look for food, but also maybe got confused. So our little guy is finally starting to come out a little bit. He's gonna be a little bit slow moving at first, especially since he's so tiny. But he's also very, very cute. As again, I just love millipedes. If you ever get a chance to see one up close, try to look at their head. They have 2 tiny little dots on their face that are their eyes. They almost look like they were drawn on. I think that's one of the reasons I like them, is to me they're just little cartoon characters. And I love watching their little legs move. They move in a wave. So you see the legs do this as they're walking. He's so tiny it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's a very, very cool and unique way of moving because they're a very cool and unique animal. So on that note, I just noticed that my shirt also matches our bumblebee millipede, although mine is for evac, the Alvaje Amphibian Conservation Center. I've talked about them before, so they're worth checking out too. They help frogs. Part of helping frogs is you inadvertently also help bugs. So it's a good thing. So we're going to try to get this guy to stay in one spot because normally I like to hold my animals up for you guys to see while I read a book. I don't know if that's possible with this guy because he's gonna wanna move a whole lot. But I do have a very, very awesome book to read for you today that was brought in by one of our reptile people, Becca. This one is a book called, let me put the millipede back. There you go, buddy. This one is called The Bug Girl, A True Story, and it is by Sophia Spencer with help from Margaret McNamara. Now, Sophia Spencer, it says here in the back, is a 4th grade student who aspires to be an entomologist when she grows up. Her love for the insect world has led her to appear on Good Morning America and to be featured on NPR. She continues to spread her enthusiasm for bugs wherever she can. She also loves climbing trees and doing gymnastics. So, this is a little girl who absolutely loves insects, and so because of that, she decided to write a book about it. So, we're going to read that book for you today. So, for all you little girls out there who sometimes may get told that liking bugs or insects in general, amphibians and snakes and everything, that's just a boys' game, it's not. Lots of girls like dealing with bugs and amphibians and snakes and lizards and turtles, and I know a lot of them, and they are super cool and awesome people. So don't let anybody ever tell you you can't deal with those things because they think they're gross. So here we go. The first time I made friends with a bug, I was 2.5 years old. My mom took me to a butterfly conservatory, which is like a zoo for butterflies. As soon as we got there, a butterfly perched on my shoulder. It flirted onto my hand and my foot, my elbow and my head, even my nose. It stayed with me the whole time we were there. When it was time to go home, a guard stopped us at the door. "I'm sorry, miss, the butterfly has to stay here," he told me. "Say goodbye to the butterfly," said Mom, but it did not move. Carefully, gently, the guard took the butterfly from my shoulder, and after a moment, it flew away. "Bye-bye, butterfly," I said. From that day on, I was bug crazy. Other kids liked storybooks, I liked bug books. Other kids watched cat videos, I watched bug videos, over and over and over. I noticed bugs everywhere I went. By the time I turned 5, I knew a lot about bugs. There are billions of bugs on our planet. Bugs have been on Earth way longer than humans have. They live on every continent, even Antarctica. One way or another, most plants and animals rely on bugs to survive. The scientific name for bugs is arthropods, but I call them bugs for short. In kindergarten, nobody minded that I loved bugs. When the other kids in my class started karaoke club, I started a bug hunter club. Every weekend, my friends and I took our bug buckets and nets and magnifying glasses out to the stream near my house. We collected fireflies and watched them glow. We identified beetles by their 2 sets of hidden wings and counted the spots on ladybugs. We watched dragonflies hover like helicopters. We even collected stink bugs, which can really stink. I took my bugs home to study them. Mostly I had to keep them out on the porch so they wouldn't escape and crawl around the house. It's just Mom and me at home, so we share chores. Mom has a lot of rules. Make your bed, pick up your clothes, keep your room neat, no ants in the house unless they're from an ant farm. I have just one rule. All bugs must live. If there's a mosquito buzzing, I snatch it up in a napkin and let it go. We don't have a fly swatter, we have a fly net. One night, my mom saw a water bug, a giant flying roach, in the middle of the living room. She knew the bug rule was important to me, so she didn't kill it. She put a net over it and waited for me to find it in the morning. But when I lifted up the net, it was gone. When I got to 1st grade, everything changed. Nobody wanted to hear about bugs. Nobody thought bug facts were cool. At first, I didn't mind. Then, I brought a grasshopper to school. I thought the kids would be amazed by the grasshopper, that they'd want to know all about it, but they didn't. A bunch of kids crowded around me and made fun of me. "Sophia's being weird again," one of them said. "Ew, gross," said another, "get rid of it." Then they knocked that beautiful grasshopper off my shoulder and stomped it until it was dead. That night, I went home and I cried and cried. "Those kids are wrong," my mom said. "It's okay to love bugs, Sophia." "I know," I said. "It just doesn't feel like it." I had to go back to school, but I didn't bring a bug with me ever again. That didn't stop the kids from making fun of me. Why doesn't she like regular things? I don't want to be friends with a bug lover. She's so strange. About halfway through first grade, I took a break from bugs. My mom did not like seeing me so unhappy, not one bit. She knew I needed to find other people who loved bugs just as much as I did. She wrote an email to a group of entomologists asking for one of them to be my bug pal. She wanted me to hear from an expert that was not weird or strange to love bugs and insects. Maybe someday, maybe somebody will write back, said my mom. Maybe, I said, or at least call. We thought those scientists would be too busy to respond. But 3 days later, my mom got an email. She opened it. It's from a bug scientist named Morgan Jackson, she said. He wants to put my letter online so other entomologists can read about you, okay? Okay, I said. Morgan Jackson posted my mom's letter and he asked other bug scientists all around the world to let me know if they had any advice for a girl who loves bugs. Two days after that, messages and videos poured in. I couldn't believe how many people around the world loved bugs as much as I did, and how many of them were grown-up women. Some were scientists who wrote about their work they do in their labs. Others shared videos of themselves with bugs on their arms and sent pictures of themselves hunting bugs in the wild. I looked at those messages day after day. All these people love bugs, I said to my mom. They do, she said, and they're not weird. Nope, said Mom, they're curious, just like you. Newspaper reporters read my story online and they started calling my mom to find out more. The reporters asked to interview me and I talked to them on the phone. My mom and I even appeared on television, which was a bit scary. It's hard to be on television when you're just an ordinary person, but I did it. I wanted to get the word out that it's okay to love bugs. Then Morgan Jackson decided to write a scientific article about how entomologists can get young people excited about scientists. Morgan asked if I would like to help write the article. I said yes. School got a lot easier after that because I didn't feel so alone. And nowadays, I like even more things. Gymnastics, time travel books, swimming, and technology. But not too long ago, when somebody asked me to describe myself in 3 words, I said, the bug girl. That's because I'm happiest when it's just me, a few green leaves, some drops of water, and a bug to keep me company. And then in the back of the book, she has a bunch of super cool bug facts. There's a lot of stuff to read through. So I would suggest, if you want to learn more about bugs, you can pick up this awesome book called The Bug Girl. And in the back, you can read all the stuff on there. And then you can also go to your local library if it's open, or you can go on Google with your parents and find all kinds of different bug articles and read about all the cool insects that are out there. And this book is a really good reminder that it doesn't matter who you are. You don't have to be a boy. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. If you like something, then you need to pursue it and not let anybody get in your way about it. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have so many awesome scientists that we have today that have discovered so many cool things. So, if anybody ever tries to get in your way and tell you it's weird that you like bugs or you like amphibians or turtles or anything like that, tell them it's okay, you're gonna keep doing what you love and they can do what they love. But eventually, you'll realize that things like this are the reason that you can succeed in life. So, I hope you learned a little bit about our awesome millipede friend who's finally crawling around a little bit, and that it's okay to like bugs even if you're a girl. So, have a good night.